Hey everybody, sorry I've been away for a bit. I've been here actually, but I've just, as I kind of indicated in another video, I was working on my jet bikes and I had to order in some paint that I wanted to use for my airbrush, and so I haven't been doing as much lately. I kind of been painting these guys up piecemeal, but I thought I'd give a bit of an update on what I've been doing with the bikes, and I'm getting pretty close to being finished because I just have to do the riders now. So I'll show the bikes today, and then I have just a couple other things to show, just stuff that I've been doing and getting ready to do. Bikes are coming out really as I thought they would. I'm pretty happy with them. I've done sort of a similar job as what I would do with the Falcon, although I would say these guys are a little bit darker in the canopy, in that I didn't actually go quite as light as I did on the Falcon, which because that was the first thing I really did with these. I think I like the sort of shading effect, as you can see here, that I got. It's lighter on top and darker on the sides. And so I did an oil wash on the white, and so that's what you can see as far as the shading in there. Yeah, and so I think that the transparent paint, came out pretty good for these. And then I didn't do all the doodads. I'm starting not to like that. I do that on the Warwalker. I do all different colors and stuff on the controls, but I just really focused on the main control screen. I just made it. I think that's probably a good shot where you can see it. I just made it sort of orange. I did a little bit of a blend there, going dark to light. And now, again, I'd like to thank Wayatune actually for providing me with shuriken cannons, because I actually had one and that was it, and he gave me a few of them and some other bits through the mail, which I really appreciate, because I'm going to put all of them to good use. And so this was the one that I showed you guys before, where I used the shuriken cannon, and then I used the shuriken ammo on the side, which I thought, I don't know whether you guys like that or not. I've never seen anybody do that in particular, but I thought, what am I going to do with this other side? And I thought, well, what would make sense more than just the contraption that the cannon's hooked up to, having the ammo on the side? And so I ended up doing that. I'll show you that I did that again here, but I actually sculpted it myself, and so I just did it really quick, and I ended up just sculpting it myself there. And so actually, from a distance, I don't think it looks too bad. It's the basic shape that I was looking for. And so, yeah. Looks like I actually just noticed I missed a spot on my oil wash. I'm going to have to touch that up. And now, what I ended up doing for the cannon, I did green stuff for the first one. And so, let's see if we can see it here. Yeah. So this guy here, as you can see, there's green stuff on there. That's just got him on there. On this one, although I green stuffed the actual, the ammo, I actually pinned this time, and I found that to actually work a little bit better. I actually like it just fits a little bit neater, and so I like that, actually, how that came out a bit more. So that is the bikes, and I'll just put my troop on the side. And so the next thing I wanted to show today is I have been just sort of messing around with sculpting a little bit here and there, and I enjoy it, and I don't consider myself an expert at it. I definitely can fill in gaps and do little things, but I've been wanting to just start practicing doing a little bit of sculpting, conversions and things like that. And so when the Spirit Seer came out, I kind of recognized that, this is a really cool HQ choice, and I really liked the Spirit Seer model that they came up with, but I recognized immediately that really there's only one of them. So if you wanted to use multiples, you're going to have to start either just painting them different colors, but just recognizing that you got the same guy. Now, there's been some really cool adaptations on the net. I've seen some people doing really neat Spirit Seers. I wanted to sculpt my own head of a Spirit Seer from scratch, just to start working on sculpting. I did do that, but before I get to that, This is the a mini that I picked up, and I cut it off the base. I'm not finished with this, but he doesn't have a witch staff, and I have to think about what I want to do. But I thought he was kind of cool because he's sort of a casting, and normally he had like a bit of a Viking helmet on, like a knight helmet. I ended up shaving off some of his emblems and things that he's had on him, and I've started putting my first versions of Eldar plates, you know, on him, where I can put like spirits here, insignias out of green stuff. And so I'm just starting to make my own spirits here to try them out. Now, when I first started this channel, I told everybody this is me as sort of a beginner wanting to learn from other people and just enjoy this hobby. And now as I show you my first head of green stuff that I've done for this guy, remember I said that I'm not an expert. But actually, yeah, it's neat. I'll show it to you here. It came out, I don't know if you can see it under the fluorescence really well. It's not too bad. But I did this just from scratch, out of green stuff, just to start getting an idea. I've got little bumps on his head there, of what I wanted my Spirit Seer head to look like. Now, you'll notice right off the bat that I'm not emulating the Wraith sort of looking Spirit Seer head that's on the existing one. If anything, what inspired me on this one was the original, one of the original Farseers on Rogue Trader, where the head is sort of a bulbous looking head with big eyepieces on the side, because I always thought that looked really cool. And so I wanted to take that and just sort of, I'd hate to say modernize it, because I'm just sort of this beginning sculptor, like I'm gonna do better than the early sculptors in GW. That wasn't my intention, but I just wanted to take it and streamline the design a bit further. And so it's funny, because when I first finished this, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna use this, you know, I'm gonna use this. But the more I looked at it, I mean, the head is supposed to be a bit big, but I've really found that it may not be, it might be a little too big. I don't know, maybe not. I'm kind of interested what you guys think. I mean, yeah, like, you know, given that I'm also kind of new with this, I was thinking maybe I'll just do another one of these now and just try to improve upon it, and then not use this one for this model. Kind of interested in your guys' thoughts and just what you think about the design concept. The other thing too is I wasn't really trying to get a bug look, but I think I wanted this oblong shape looking eye, but I almost think I ended up with a little bit of an insectoid looking look, and I'm not, and particularly with the flap in the back, which I actually like that, but I'm thinking I don't know that I want that. I want to recess maybe the eyes a little bit on it. So I'm interested in your guys' thoughts, and I did try to sculpt him with the eyes, with some grooves around the eyes so it could capture ink and things well. And so yeah, kind of interested in folks' thoughts. But that's the beginning, first stages of my converting a Spirit Seer out of another model. Lastly, and I think when I put this video up, I'll call it something like October Orange Update or something like that. If you guys have been following my channel, you probably know that I'm looking at a future project of doing Space Marines. And so the army that I chose to do were the Knights of Griffin, because for a number of reasons. It started out because of the orange, because I happen to like orange as a color, and I noticed there aren't really many orange chapters. And definitely not any big orange chapters. And I think in the same way that Imperial Fists look really cool with yellow, I think that chapters can look good with orange too. That's sort of my bias and my opinion going into this. And so I wanted to do an orange army, but in wanting to do an orange army, I came across this chapter called the Knights of Griffin, which has a couple of sentences of lore that I've found, you know, smattering around. And basically they've been destroyed by the their homeland, you know, was destroyed in the Griffin sector, unknown location, destroyed by the Leviathan fleet of Tyranids. And so they hate Tyranids, at least my Knights of Griffin will. And, you know, I said in a previous video how they're going to, you know, team up with the Mechanicum that were at a Forge World in the Griffin system on Griffin 4. And so there's going to be lots of cool potential for an army. And so pretty soon, as a little project to get this started, I'm going to paint 3 Space Marines, which still have, they're the ones that I got from that kid that I have to still clean up because he just broke them apart, you know, off of the sprues and didn't shave them. But I'm going to do Space Marine A, B, and C after I clean them up, and I'm going to do them 3 different ways to try to determine how to do this. I just got some, when I got my Model Air White, I bought some light red because I thought it looked really close to orange, and I got some orange. I have Createx paint, which you guys are probably, that follow my channel, are quite familiar with because I've used it on my recent things that are green. And I've got just some traditional, or some, you know, just base and layer colors of orange, Jacaro, Troll Slayer, formerly Blazing Orange, I believe, that I have as well. And so I'm going to do them 3 different ways, utilizing different techniques, and to determine which one I can get to look the best, to set the stage for the rest of at least the infantry. I think unless this doesn't turn out good, you know, where I was happy with the other ones, I'm going to be using this transparent Createx at a minimum on large models and vehicles. So hopefully whatever I pick will end up matching with this well enough, because that's the reason I got this in advance. So I think that is it for my update. Interested in your guys' thoughts on the bikes, the colors, the sculpting, interested in all of it. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll be back probably in the next little bit with my finished bikes once I paint the riders, and I'm going to be doing some converting and some interesting things with the riders too. They're not just going to be standard riders coming out of the box. Okay guys, thanks very much and take care.